everybody, this is Stormy with the capital Z. Welcome back to another WarCraft 3 cast. This is going to be a 2 versus 2 and it is going to be on Centaur Grove. Game has started, had a little bit hesitation over there, and the map color pattern seems to be weird. It didn't look this way when I saw it earlier. So let's switch to a referee. And let's switch the team colors on so we'll be less confused. On the top left position of this map, at the 12 o'clock, we got Skutt spawning as the yellow undead player. His ally Thorzain spawning as the yellow human at the 9 o'clock. And their opponents, we got Wiz or Guess spawning as the blue night elf at the 6 o'clock. And his ally, and yeah, my camera just flies away. Kurco spawning as the blue undead on the 3 o'clock. So this is going to be undead night elf versus undead and human. We have seen some really great games against these players, specifically, like the series called 2v2 WCL season or something like that. Completely forgot about the name of the series, but we got the human player over here opening up with Archmage, his ally Undead Skutt opening up with Dreadlord. Alright, Night player will be going for Keeper of the Grove, and the blue undead will be going for Death Knight. Alright. There are scout footmen lurking around the map. Is it... for a moment it seemed like it was going towards a tavern, but tavern heroes with human player isn't really a common choice. You tend to see that sometime here and there, but not all the time. But this is a good option to have your footmen lurk around and cause some sort of distraction here. As we can see, Guess is on that footman and he may actually get the kill on it. Got it to pretty low HP, and there we go. Guess wasting no time entangling the footman twice, but the thing is that now at the loss of one footman, Thorzain could have crept one camp without any kind of harassment. Nonetheless, the thing is he didn't really get it wasn't really a huge advantage of that, and definitely you don't really want to lose stuff. Now he's gonna go in for a orange camp. Oh wait a second, that's a green camp there. And what do you have here? Skutt coming in with his Dreadlord. Is he gonna creep with Thorzain? He shifted his attention towards the Keeper of the Grove, and uh-oh, Keeper of the Grove going in for a surround. Keeper surrounded. Dreadlord has surrounded the Keeper. It's gonna go down unless until it uses TP, which I think it won't. And there we go, level 1.5 Dreadlord. On the other side of the map, we got Kurco going in for some creeping at the Goblin Merc. He got himself a nice sentry, or rather watcher ward, and having some sort of lag here. Keeper coming out. What are the apps that I have running? Okay, I have this running. Maybe if I quit this, it'll stabilize a bit. This should stabilize. So this actually happened in another game as well. Skutt did this to Guess the second time. This same thing that happened on Hillsbat Creek in another game, and you can find that game on my channel. I did that some time ago. Guess is having a double AOW Huntress push over here from what I can understand, which is very powerful in 2 versus 2s, but when you want to go for something like that, you want to try and pressure your opponent and try to finish the game as soon as possible, because you're not going to be able to rely on tier 1 units for a very long time. And when your opponents gets to tier 2, when your opponents have expansions up and ready, it's going to be difficult for a mass Huntress composition to deal with something like that, although Huntresses are still pretty strong. And they're going in with Kurco's army over here. Kurco and Guess are gonna creep here. And what do we have here? Guess leaving behind his hero. It appears that he only wants the Death Knight to gain the experience, and it appears Death Knight will definitely get level 3 from this camp here. And Guess wants no part of that experience over there. And what do we have here? This is a reveal being used, but I'm not sure of what. It's probably Crystal Ball. Did he get? Yep, he got a Crystal Ball. Nice item. It's becoming pretty common. The Crystal Ball has become a super common item these days. So, Team Orange is gonna back out towards their side of the map, and they're going in for a red camp at the fountain, while Team Blue seems to be going in for an assault. They also got Wisp this time, and okay, we have a Watcher Ward here. Team Yellow knows about Team Blue's arrival, and Team Blue also knows that Team Yellow knows about that. Since they did not get that camp over there, they definitely know the Watcher Ward is there. So they will be prepared for this. They are going in for a deliberate attack. There's no element of surprise for a very long time. Got in, managed to kill one of the peasants, and going after the tower. Should take out the tower. The Arcane Tower, of course, can devour the magic away, or rather cut the magic away. Mountain King is out for Thorzain, and the heroes should be coming back in. Elemental being spawned, and Archmage is a pretty tight spot. The Archmage should get the hell out of there. It needs to be in a rather better position. And okay, it appears that Skutt used a TP to get towards the inner side of the base of Thorzain, and now is heading in with all the militiamen and all the ghouls with the vampiric aura. And that will force... Wait a second, that forced the TP on Thorzain. Thorzain went back to his base because I guess he was caught really badly over there, off of position. Okay, so Wiz going in for some Merc over here. Got himself a Outrunner and a Harpy Rogue. Some people have spoke about this though, that they've said that this particular map, or rather this particular tile set, the Barons, have some interesting mercs that you can get from the merc camp, so I guess you can go for them. I'm not sure, but the Barons is a place where you get the Medicine Man, but I'm not sure whether you get the Medicine Man from the merc camps over here. Medicine Man, the Quill Beast Medicine Man, it's a pretty good merc. It has really good spells like Spirit Pigs and stuff. So anyways, we have a assault coming in over here, and oh, Obsidian Statue being taken out over there. Skutt going towards the inner side of his base and managing to hold off pretty well. Now the thing about his is that Thorzain coming in, and Thorzain kind of pulled away the blue army. Thorzain just managing to pull away the blue army. He didn't really do anything super over there to actually stop Team Blue from destroying the main bait, but it worked out nonetheless because they arrived in with a small army and forced the chase, and because of the chase they got some time now, and the vampire, the Dreadlord, needs to arrive at Thorzain's base right now. Otherwise this is going to be really bad for Thorzain. Thorzain is going to head toward the inner side of his base, going to stay in there, and may choose to just lose this altar though. He's not going to send in any peasants to repair it just yet, even though if you do send in the peasants, you've got the glaives bouncing, so that's really a terrifying thing. And here comes Skutt with the TP. He should land towards the outer end. There we go. He is in a good position. He should be able to deal good amount of damage on all those fiends and huntresses. And the Dreadlord is down to... Oh, Dreadlord is super weak right now. It forced the TP on Guess, so Guess will be TPing back to the base. And Kurco is hightailing away, while Skutt is going to try and follow him. Thorzain will follow him as well. Thorzain lost his shop, he's lost his altar, he can't rebuild that again. That shouldn't be that big of an issue. But now the thing is that since your enemy backed out, now try to take the advantage. That's what you're going to do. And this is what I was talking about, the Razorman Medicine Man. The Razorman Medicine Man, yeah. So this is a pretty good thing. You got Spirit Pigs, and you also got Healing Ward. It's pretty good. And another sleep on the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove will get taken out for the second time during this fight. during the course of this game in particular, and in the same fashion, being surrounded by ghouls. Thorzain seems to be having an advantage against the undead army over there, going in pretty well with the Mountain King bashes and storm bolts all over the place, and sleep on the Lich. Lich won't be able to deal any of his Frost Novas or whatever it has, and oh, Lich surrounded! Death Coil on the Ridge, but it's not gonna be enough. There we go, level 4 on the Archmage. Guess does have an expansion here, and that expansion may be ransacked over here if they're not careful. He is trying to send his Huntresses in, but they're also getting taken out by the devastating Riflemen and Storm Bolts. Death Knight was surrounded momentarily and forced to use a TP towards his base. This leaves this expansion up and vulnerable, and it's likely gonna go down before Kurco and Guess are gonna be able to come back over here and do something about it. A lot of detonations. No kills for Team Blue, but low experience for Team Yellow. Thorzain going back to his base. And it appears that Team Yellow is gonna go in for more creeping. They're gonna go to the Merc camp, maybe pick up a medicine man for themselves as well. It's a pretty heavy, food intensive unit. I think it costs you like 4 or 5 food. But yeah, it does basically have spells of the heroes and stuff, so it's pretty good as well. Getting the advantage of both of the buildings, the Merc camp and the Goblin lab, would be a good. They should also try to put down buildings over there that can give them the advantage. And what do we have here? Why did he go back? Oh! He was forced back because of Guess coming in. Guess tried to get in there and deal some damage on Thorzain's base. Thorzain still hasn't made his altar yet, and he hasn't advanced to tier 3 yet. It appears he's gonna stick to tier 2, and he's now dropping a lumber mill. This cast is gonna have a lot of lag, and oh, Mountain King of Thorzain is in a bad spot. It's surrounded. It's surrounded. There's no way to go. Unless until you have something like Staff of Sanctuary, this Mountain King is going to go down. There we go. Riflemen gonna follow, and they're gonna try and deal some damage in there, it appears. Guess forced to back out to the base, and Guess finally actually getting some payback for the surround kills on his Keeper of the Grove. Gonna creep out a bit while Thorzain is right beside him, by the way. That may get him to level 3. There we go, level 3 Keeper of the Grove. Seems like they didn't have web. That's why they had to use the units that had ranged attack. Thorzain coming in for an assault, planting a nice sentry ward in the base of Guess. Guess has no knowledge of that. Here comes Kurco to the aid, and on the other side of the map we got the Dreadlord going in with a number of abominations, and Kurco has this sentry ward, so he knows about this. There's no element of surprise. They know that Skutt is coming, and they know where Skutt is. Of course, the sentry wards on this map, the water wards rather, on this map and Turtle Rock, they can give you so much map control if you take them. Abominations are going to be hard to kill, but it appears that Kurco got some abomination for himself, and whoa, what do we have here? The Dreadlord actually has Cloak of Flames. So this Dreadlord basically has Wand of Mana Steel, Cloak of Flames, TP and Dust, and well, despite of those abominations being super beefy, Team Blue managed to take out at least one of them, and we're going to try and take out another. He should have gone to the Waygate. That would have caused momentary distraction. The Waygate will of course take him to the other side, and that would have caused momentary distraction if nothing else. Okay, Dreadlord is in a sort of a pickle. It's a level 5 hero, should be able to handle most of the situations. But the thing is, it's pretty alone. It's got back to his base. Where is Thorzain? Thorzain is almost done creeping, or it was that he just crept out of camp. He needs to get here, help out his ally. Otherwise, Skutt is gonna end up losing the entirety of his army. A lot of carrion spawns being used. There we go, a nice impale by Team Blue. TP being used inside his own base. That's gonna save his army for a small amount of time. And oh, this may actually work in favor of Team Yellow. They got Team Blue's army towards the inner side of the base, and now they TP towards the outside. And Thorzain will join likely over there. Thorzain is right outside there. Thorzain should push in, and unless and until Kurco TPs away, which he's gonna do, he's going to lose pretty much everything in there. Uh-oh, what do we have here? Guess attacking the base of Thorzain, and Thorzain gonna use another TP. Some gyrocopters on the field. What are they gonna deal with? Probably the destroyers. And if they choose to go for one solo harpy is gonna attack Skutt's necropolis up here. And yeah, if they choose to go for the ground upgrade, the bomb chill upgrade for the flying machines, they can actually use that as a siege weapon as well if they have good number. And the medicine man get taken out. That's the merc I was talking about. Kurco gonna creep this camp out at the back, keeping his dead knights toward the outside because it's already level 5. Keeper and the huntresses are pretty much not what you want against this fight. Those are not going to be enough, and they're taking heavy damage with those carrion spawns. Here comes Kurco. Uh-oh, gyrocopters attacking those destroyers. Need to be careful. Web being used immediately by the fiends. Auto attack, of course. Auto cast, that is. Some fiends dying in this fight, and illusionary abominations. Those are going to be heavy to deal with, and illusionary death knight as well. I can see it's difficult to make out who's going to win this fight, but I can see more number of blue units and more than yellow, definitely. Mountain King for Thorzain just got taken out. A lot of huntresses are dying. And finally, Team Blue's abominations are pretty low right now. This is not looking good. The riflemen are gonna deal heavy damage on those units. They're so fat, they're gonna have a hard time backing out. And Infernal in! Level 6 Dreadlord. There's an Infernal on the field. And I was about to say that Team Blue may be able to topple away the army for Team Yellow, but the Infernal will turn the tides. This may very well be the final fight of the game if Skutt and Thorzain are not able to, Kurco and Guess are not able to muster up something to fight against this army. And what do we have here? Infernal gonna attack the Moonwell. In my opinion, just attack the main and get the hell out of there. They have an expansion up here. I mean, it's not the end of the world. They have another expansion which is up and coming there. Thorzain's Archmage reaches level 6 and it has 2 cloaks. I don't know why you want 2 cloaks, you just need 1. He's gonna use the staff, or rather mass teleportation. Gonna get back to his base, and okay, Thorzain doesn't seem to have enough army to actually deal with whatever Kurco and Guess have over here. He shouldn't have come back here technically. He should have waited. Running back to the base with your ally would have been a better option if you were up against both of the armies of Team Blue. Team Blue doing a really good job over here of going towards Team Yellow's base. And the Archmage is level 6, but it can't really do everything alone. It does need an army, but Thorzain has a army of flying machines over here. He should call them in, though they would be useful against the destroyers at least, and the Harpy at least can take out the Harpy if nothing else. Mountain King is there. Some priests coming in and some riflemen as well. Here comes the Dreadlord. Carrion spawn. Team Blue gonna go back to their bases, and nice, some use of the way gates. You should use the way gates. They're unstandard, like they're not the most commonly used things, and if you actually try to go through the way gate while you're in a fight, your units will teleport to the other side, your enemy won't know where, like for a moment he'll be hesitated. So that will be a good thing for you. That Harpy is still alive, man. The Harpy Rogue is still lurking around the map, and it's acting as a really good scout for Team Blue. Speaking of scouts, Team Yellow also have their scouts in the form of flying machines, of course. And it appears that Guess is trying to set up multiple expansions all across the map. Here comes Thorzain with mass teleportation, and he's going to destroy this expansion here. And also gonna kill all the Whisper around. Yellow army TP'd away. Couldn't really do much against the mass undead army of Team Blue. So on Team Blue side we got Guess with just 13 food worth of stuff. That is basically just his hero and some wisps across the map. It's all Kurco here. Kurco is having the entirety of the army, and Guess is just around with his hero, which he's running away with right now. One abomination got picked off during this fight, and Skutt of course had his Infernal to defend the base with. And this game is slowly but surely going into the hands of Thorzain and Skutt. Although we have a really good attempt by Kurco and Guess coming in. And what do we have here? They already mass teleported towards the expansion of Guess. This is exactly what you can do with mass teleportation. Just jump across the map anytime, anywhere. Is he using the TP or is he using mass teleportation? He used the TP. The reason for the TP, I'm going to tell you, mass teleportation was probably on cooldown. But in a situation like this, you may want to go for mass teleportation, but what if you get impaled by the enemy? If the Criplot impales you, then the hero's gonna die. The nuke of the undead is too deadly. If it dies, then, well, basically you're gonna lose the entirety of the army after that. Thorzain only has a +1 attack. We got +1 attack and defense for Skutt. Kurco having +1 attack and defense for the Fiends, and for Abominations, nothing. Of course, Skutt only has made the units, the melee units mostly. Optional statues and destroyers here and there, but that's not really the main thing of his army. The main stuff are the Abominations and the Dreadlord. Stopping that expansion, stormbolting the solo... Where did they go? They're here. Stormbolting the lone Wisp, and then teleporting towards another expansion location. Thorzain is on a roll right now. Skutt and Thorzain are just gonna do this, and what do we have here? Kurco is gonna use a TP to come back to his allies' base, and that will scare away Thorzain momentarily. And of course, the Unholy Aura is gonna be making the undead army faster. They're gonna be careful. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. Nice pass by the Archmage, and the Archmage is using a TP, I believe. There we go. Got back to his base.
The player's forces are under attack.
Not sure if he actually had a TP. Main gold mine for all the players have expired. So expansions is all that the players are relying on. So this actually is a better situation for the Team Blue over here, which basically lost one of their bases, but despite of losing the bases, now they know that at least the enemy is not going to be able to rebuild anything unless until they have expansions going in. Thorzain does not have an expansion, while Skutt has an expansion set up over here. Kurco trying to set up an expansion, and Guess tried to do one here, but that got ransacked. Guess has one over here though. Ah, it didn't. Okay, it did the job. It didn't stay until the last hit. Going in towards his ally's base to help him out with everything he's got. And uh-oh, Infernal, Carrion Spawn. Wow, that was a deadly combo. Infernal in and the unit surrounded was stunned, and then Carrion Spawn. The Carrion Swarm just took those Abominations down to nearly 50% HP, and Abominations are really strong units. Of course, the yellow team's Abominations are far stronger right now because of their extra attack and extra defense, and apart from that they have Vampiric Aura. So it's a win-win over here. On a one-on-one fight, it's definitely gonna go into the hands of Team Yellow. And Team Yellow, what do we have here? Thorzain is attacking the expansion while Skutt keeps Kurco at bay. He doesn't even have to win this fight, he just has to keep Kurco on the bay. And he may even win it though, despite of not having to win it at all. All he has to do is let Thorzain destroy the expansion. That's exactly what's happening. Thorzain will destroy that expansion and Skutt will just get the hell out of there. Or Thorzain, after destroying the expansion, he will head in over here towards Skutt's army and will help him out defeat the enemies, and Keeper of the Grove goes down. This is game. Guess calls for the GG, and good game. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this wonderful cast. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. If you like the cast, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I cast every single day at 1600 GMT. This is my usual time. I go in for a cast every day. I may cast more depending on time availability and stuff like that, and after that I start my game night at my Discord server. So I'm gonna check for that now, how many people are available to play, and we're gonna go in. Got Ferryman ready today. Definitely gonna have to restart my WarCraft. Uh-oh, I just hope I don't have a case of Windows damn update. Let me check. I mean, it wouldn't lag this way otherwise. I was right. Pause updates. If I did that earlier, I wouldn't have faced so much of stuff. Okay, I can put down the recording at least.